Hey everybody, today we're making spaghetti boats, so grab you a chair, pull it up to the table, and let's get started. This is a nice hearty dish, but it's a simple and easy dish. Whether you're a couple days away from payday or whether you got some hungry, greedy kids, this recipe will definitely hit the spot. I'll leave all the ingredients in the description box below, and while you're in the description box, don't forget to hit the like button so we can get the video in the algorithm. So we're going to start off by boiling our spaghetti noodles, and while those are boiling, we're going to dice up some onion and some green bell pepper. I'm going to throw that into a hot skillet with some oil, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of garlic along with some salt and some black pepper. I love making spaghetti type dishes because there's no wrong way to make it. So if you want to add or take something out, definitely be my guest. Next, you want to mix up your vegetables. Make sure those seasonings and veggies are well combined, and I'm going to move on to the sauce. So I'm using some tomato basil sauce, a 24-ounce bottle. I'm also going to add in a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and then I'm going to season this up. Now, normally I will make homemade spaghetti sauce, but I wanted to just make something quick and semi-homemade, so this is the recipe for this particular dish. Now we're going to season up the sauce with some salt, some pepper, some Italian seasoning, a few red pepper flakes, along with some garlic powder and some onion powder. Now I'm really curious, do you guys like adding sugar to your spaghetti? Some people like savory spaghetti and others like sweet spaghetti, and it really has the internet divided. So I want you to leave me a comment below and let me know, what do you prefer when you make your spaghetti? I personally grew up in a household that made savory spaghetti, whether it was my mom or my grandma or even my aunts. They all made savory spaghetti. My granddad, he would throw in just a little bit of sugar to break up the acidity, but it still ended up being savory spaghetti. So let me know in the comments. So next we're going to move on to our ground beef. I'm going to season that up with some Chef Bae spicy seasoning, which is thebomb.com. Make sure you check out cutnupwithbae.com, and you can get the seasonings for 35% off currently if you use code MEATBALL. And if you want to check out the other options we have on there, where there's garlic butter, cookbooks, aprons, those are available as well. I also added in some oregano, of course some garlic powder, some pepper, and some smoked paprika to this. As you can see, we added our onions and our peppers to the sauce, and now I'm going to add the ground beef to the sauce as well. Now, some people may complain about this recipe. They may say, well, that's too much starch. It's noodles and it's bread. But that doesn't stop you from eating spaghetti in a breadstick, or that doesn't stop you from eating Alfredo in a breadstick. So I don't really see the problem with adding the spaghetti to the bread that we're going to add it to. It's all up to you. It's totally your preference, but I know somebody's probably going to say that in the comments, and that's going to be my reply to you. What's the difference between it being a breadstick? So with that being said, our sauce is coming together and it looks so flavorful and it smells amazing, and we're going to add our sauce to our noodles. We're going to mix all of that up and set it aside. Next, I'm going to grab some butter. I'm going to melt that, add some parsley flakes, and then I'm going to add in some garlic paste. Definitely feel free to chop up or mince some garlic, but because I'm brushing this onto the bread, I prefer to use garlic paste because it creates a nice texture and I can brush it on the bread nice and even. I don't know about you or where you grew up at, but this recipe reminds me of just the old school spaghetti and bread sandwich, but it's 10 times better. So I'm going to take my bread, I'm going to scoop out the middle, and then we're going to take our garlic butter sauce and we're going to spread it all over the bread. And don't be shy, don't be skimpy. Go ahead and be generous and load that bread up with this sauce. And while we're loading this bread up, if you have not hit the like button already, this is the perfect time to do so. And head to the comment section if you've ever had a spaghetti sandwich or anything close to it, and drop a green heart in those comments and let me know I'm not the only one that's hip to this delicious delicacy. So I taste tested the spaghetti and it is on point. this spaghetti is bussin'. So even if you just want to grab a bowl and eat the spaghetti just the way it is, you will not be disappointed. I remember back in the day when it was close to payday, my mom would make a big old pot of spaghetti, and her spaghetti is so freaking good. But she would make that spaghetti, it would last us 2 to 3 days, and it would definitely last us until that direct deposit hit. And one thing I love about spaghetti is it tastes good when you make it, but it tastes even better when you put it in the refrigerator and you come back to it the next day. Just something magical about those seasonings, just really marinating overnight and hitting the spot even more. Now I have a question for you guys. When you make spaghetti, do you also make separate meatballs, or do you just eat the spaghetti by itself? I know it just depends on where you're from and how you were brought up, but I don't mind the spaghetti by itself, but my granddad, he used to make some awesome spaghetti, but he always made meatballs. So let me know in the comments what's your preference when it comes to spaghetti and meatballs. Next, we're going to sprinkle some mozzarella cheese on top. And then I'm going to take some Italian seasoning and I'm going to sprinkle that over top of the cheese. Then I'm going to throw this in the oven. I put it in on 350 degrees and I bake this for about 7 to 10 minutes or until the cheese melted. I love these really simple, easy dishes that you can make during the weekday for you and your family. I'm very sure that you'll not only enjoy this recipe, but so will your family and your friends. So make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys drop me a green heart in the comments, and I'll be sure to see you guys on the next video. Thanks so much for the support, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.